Hi everyone, I hope you're all well and that you're staying safe. In order to combat some of the cabin fever that I think we're all starting to feel from being cooped up in our houses, I am going to be starting a read-along of one of my favourite books, The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. The way it's going to work is every day I will post a video of myself reading the next chapter of the book on the server. There'll also be a list of activities that you can do about that chapter. The activities are designed to help you understand what happened in the chapter, but also just to build up our comprehension and reading skills, which are obviously really important for English. You can do as many of the activities as you'd like, or as few as you'd like. I'm not going to be policing anybody or anything, so it's entirely up to you how much you interact with this. You can just listen to the chapters if you'd like, and that's absolutely fine. It's entirely up to you, and you can just do it at your own pace. The Hunger Games, in case you don't know anything about the book, is set in the near future after basically global warming has destroyed society as we know it, and it's set in what was the United States of America and is now a new country called Panem. And in Panem there is a really fancy, rich capital city where people live in the lap of luxury, but then it's surrounded by these 12 districts where people live in poverty and spend all their time just working for the capital. And every year there is a televised reality show called The Hunger Games, in which 24 children from those districts are sent to the capital, and then they are put into an arena and forced to fight each other to the death until only one of them is left. It sounds very shocking, and it is, and it's meant to be, because The Hunger Games is an example of a genre of literature called dystopian literature. So dystopia is an ancient Greek word, and it means bad place. And basically in dystopian literature, the government and leaders have really taken over society to the extent where people just have to do what they are told and have no choice but to go along with what is happening, even if it seems crazy and even if it's dangerous and dehumanizing for them. There's some really famous examples of dystopian literature which you've probably heard of. So the Maze Runner series is a dystopian series and was made into some really fantastic films recently. The Divergent series is also an example of dystopian literature, which people are forced to choose the kind of person they are at a young age. The Handmaid's Tale is a very famous dystopian novel which has been made into a TV show quite recently, and this is set in a world where women have lost all of their rights and they just have to do exactly what they are told by the government and by men. And the final example I'm just going to talk to you about is 1984, which is one of the most famous dystopian novels. This is where we get the phrase, Big Brother is watching you. And in 1984, Big Brother is the government, and they literally have hidden cameras everywhere. They are watching their citizens at every single moment, and you never know who is watching or who is listening. The Hunger Games kind of follows quite a lot of these themes as well. This idea of the government being really controlling and you never being able to know who is watching or who is listening. And that's kind of really embodied in The Hunger Games, which obviously is this reality show in which children are dying on screen and it's meant to be entertainment. It is a really fantastic book. It's got some brilliant characters. The way that the author kind of builds the world for us is really, really interesting. And it's got some fantastic action in it as well. The first chapter is already on the server. You'll find it in the social media challenges section of the server. This is open for any year group. Anyone who would like to read along the book, that's absolutely fine. There are no age limits on this at all. And as I said, you can go at your own pace. You don't have to come back every single day. But I really hope that you can join us in reading this book. It is one of my favourites, as I said, and I'm really excited to share it with all of you. So stay safe, and I hope to see you all very, very soon.